what I'm getting at there is we treat failure like it's a label, like it defines who we are. If we miss a goal, then oh, I'm a failure. Or if we slip back into a bad habit, is I'm back to square one. That's something I deal with a lot. Or even letting somebody down is I messed up everything. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Built Not Given Show. I'm your host, Jake Strickland. And before I begin, I want to make a quick announcement. Every Tuesday will be when the show comes out now. Hopefully in the future, I'll go into 2 episodes a week. But for now, it's only going to be one. And instead of Friday, it's going to be Tuesday. But now that that's out of the way, I want to get into it a little bit. Today's episode is going to talk about failure. I used to think failure didn't exist. And not that it didn't exist, but that it was a mindset, that it was oh, if I just don't believe in it, it doesn't exist. It's not real. But then I had a conversation with somebody that was like, you're an idiot. Failure is 100% a thing. I think their exact words is, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say. Which kind of pissed me off a little bit. So we got a little butthurt. I argued a little bit, but now that I've gotten time to reflect on that a little bit, they were right. Failure definitely does exist. Failures in every aspect of our life. Failure's real, but I don't believe that it's what we think it is. So the reason that we had that conversation is over the past couple of weeks, the idea of failure has been bouncing around in my head. So I wouldn't call it a case study, but a lot of the people that I came in contact with over the last couple of weeks, I asked them the question of, what does failure mean to you? And I got a few different answers. So I'll just go through a couple of them. Disappointing someone or giving up. Maybe it's not hitting a goal or becoming somebody you don't want to be. And the big one that hit me was not showing up for the people counting on you. But the thing that stuck out to me throughout all of that was that nobody agreed. Every single answer I got was different. And what that told me was that failure is not universal, it's personal. It's based on your standards, your expectations, your values. You could put me and somebody else in the same situation, and our idea of failure is going to be totally different. Maybe that I did something and that same person did the same thing, and for them it was a win, but for me it was a failure. And what I'm getting at there is we treat failure like it's a label, like it defines who we are. If we miss a goal, then oh, I'm a failure. Or if we slip back into a bad habit, is I'm back to square one. That's something I deal with a lot. Or even letting somebody down is I messed up everything. The truth about that is that that's not failure. You missing a goal is not failure. You falling short is not failure. Having a bad day, that's not failure. What failure is giving up. Failure is not showing up. It's becoming somebody you don't respect. I don't believe that failure is what happens. I don't believe that if we miss a goal, that's failure. What I believe failure is, it's how we respond to that missed goal, or that not showing up for somebody, or the having a bad day. It's how we respond to those situations that makes or breaks it into failure. The response to that, in my opinion, is everything. Like I just said, two people could lose. That one person is going to keep going, they're going to adjust, and they're going to make something happen out of that mishap. Whereas the other one is going to sit back and think, oh, poor me, it didn't happen for me. I guess that means it's never going to happen for me. I have to stop. Whereas one person could mess up and the other one fixes it. Or one person, again, steps back, cowers in the corner, and says, oh, poor me, that didn't work. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So the same situation can have two different outcomes. So my question to you is, do you retract when bad things happen, or that failure happens, that moment of setback happens? Or do you recalibrate? Do you adapt to whatever brought you to that mishap? Maybe it was something that you didn't plan for. Maybe it was an idea that you had about somebody that wasn't really the person that they were. Just because you let them down or they did something that let you down doesn't mean that that version over there was a failure or that thing that you did was a failure. Letting them down was a failure. What that means is you have to take a step back and realize, oh, wait, this happened. What can I do now? What's next? And that right there is what I believe separates the mishaps from the failures. Failure is 100% real, like I've said. And like I realized, actually. I mean, like, up until 4 or 5 days ago, I didn't think it was a real thing. But failure is real. But it's not the event that happens. It's not the concept of failure that we have. That's the failure. It's what we do after that. If we stop and we retreat and we act like we're never going to be able to do it just because we failed one time or we got this mishap one time, then yes, that is failure. Because you quit, because you gave up, you didn't adapt, you didn't recalibrate, you didn't move forward. You didn't identify the problem that caused the event. But on the flip side, you can identify the problem that caused that event. Or instead of taking a step back, you can take a step forward into that and sit in it and realize, oh, wait, if I did this, then that event wouldn't have happened. But to close it out is failure isn't falling short. Failure is not reaching your goal. Failure is staying where that event is at. Failure is getting hit on the chin and just sitting there and taking it. That's what failure is. You don't become a failure by losing. You become one when you stop building. That's the difference. Now, I know this was a kind of short episode. Truth be told, I'm actually filming it out of the bed of my truck under a street light because I personally didn't fail. I just didn't do the things necessary to get into the studio this week. But instead of saying, oh man, I messed up, I'm not going to be able to post it this week, what I did was I recalibrated where I was going to do it. I'm using a mic that I bought a couple years ago, and I'm using the street light to light up my area. So that's the thing right there. The real world example is this episode would not be out tomorrow if I didn't take a step forward into the problem and recognize that, hey, I just got to figure out somewhere else to film it. I just got to figure out somewhere else to do it. And I think that goes for y'all as well, for everybody listening to this. I challenge you to identify one thing this week that you see as a failure, whether it was something you tried to do a couple years ago or whether it's something you're trying to do now. And what I want you to do is I want you to sit down and look at it and figure out what I could have done differently for that not to happen. And even if you can't figure it out, I encourage you to try it again. Give it another shot. Because when you do that, that failure is no longer a failure. You just found out a way that it didn't work. But with that being said, I'm going to close it out. I hope to see y'all next Tuesday when the next one's going to come out. And like always, please share the show if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, you can still share it. Just don't share any negative words. Or you can. I don't really care. But there will be a place to connect with me in the description wherever you're seeing this. But yeah, y'all have a good week.